Okay.
Oh, it is.
Hi. Hey, Frozen Night. Yeah, nope. It's been a little bit. Yeah, it's been a little bit. You're not wrong, but we're glad to be here, and glad to have you here. Well, thing off did not. Was naughty. Don't know why I didn't do that. Other really strange. Sorry, it bothered me that it didn't turn off the starting soon, so I'm just gonna go back in and reset it in hopes of it working next
Course.
time. Okay,
Why would it work?
let's
Why
see.
would it work correctly?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Too
This is
easy.
thing. And then it's deactivate. Okay. Hopefully that'll be good for next time. Anywho, let's get back to us. Yeah. Uh, oh my gosh, have been through quite a bit. It's been, a while since last session, but in the last one, our crew, I mean, they've really unlocked a lot of the mysteries and around the bigger things going on in the world. They know that the UAF and the pirates are at war now. Oh, it's escalated to effectively war and propaganda and in airship battles. They're both seeking ancient technology the same way that their benefactor, Alienor Sunray, has been. Ali had shared that she wants to find it because she believes that she can, with the ancient technology, the Omega, not just the Omega C, but the Omega curtains that separate the four quadrants of the world can be done away with, and the world can be united in a way it never has been. With the discovery of Ilana from a time long lost, they found that that is in fact true. Ilana had attempted to do that 5,700 something years ago, thereby creating the Omega C, but unaware that there was this um, extra dimensional space called the world's end, from which the Omega curtain flows and returns. And with that added into her calculation, she also believes that this can be done. But they have to, the crew, before meeting Alana, discovered in one of the basements of their um, building, their home in Macaw, that some instruction manuals. There are four keys, four bits of ancient technology that activate this the true key, which is Macaw. The islet is all it's described as.
Hmm.
All the detail the books have gone into. And that's getting these four pieces of ancient technology and activating them in Macaw will allow Macaw to be the key to enter or otherwise activate, we'll see, um, the world's end and, fix all this stuff. But there's other strange parties after it. There's I don't know how to describe Brackus, but she was working with, like, she revived skeleton of dragon, undead dragon, Dracolich. Um, there's just other players, powerful players that are also after this outside of the large entities of the pirates and the AF. Well, our crew a long time ago procured one of these pieces of arcane technology at an auction, which is currently in Allie's possession, I believe. Um, then they discovered the just last session the island of Recoven. Thankfully, with Alana's knowledge of the past, she knew where these cities used to be that were supposed to be elevated. So, like, well, this is where that item was, this and this and this, and marked them on the map. So, checking the first one was a desolate, the ruins of a city, barely hovering above the Omega Sea. And they went through a fair bit there. flashes of the past and other things, and faced off against a twisted fairy. Had a bit of a lich to her, and the battle's pretty raw. It's pretty intense. But the lich values her life more so than the item that she procured, and while she felt she might win, she also knew there was a decent chance that she wouldn't, and so offered a truce of sorts. She gets to leave if she gives gives them the item. So everyone agreed, and that transpired. She took off, and they have the ooh, I forget what that one was. But the second piece, the second key that they procured. While they were seeking that island, they were discovered by the new squadron that's after them from the UAF. There's a squadron specifically to hunt down and find the Tempest and their crew. Um, the UAF doesn't seem to be aware of the crew members' names or who they are, thankfully, yet. But they are aware that the Tempest exists and is a main player in this, and they've incorporated it into their propaganda, saying that the Tempest was, leading the pirates. The Tempest is involved in this, the attack on Atmos and everything else. So it's just kind of risky to exist for the Tempest right now. But they left that island of Recoven with the gear, and they are about to set off. I think we left like right there after everyone settled in back on the ship, I think. Oh no, everyone rested, and then in the morning, Cassius told everyone what his pirate brother reported, that Ali's on the run,
Mm-hmm.
all this other stuff. So I think you all were just doing sort of evasive maneuvers and trying to make sure you wouldn't be discovered or followed by that squadron that's probably nearby. So it's morning time on the ship. Hooray! And I'll let you all pick it up there as everyone wakes up. Is there anything in particular that anyone like to do, say, when waking up or at breakfast time?
Ashavar would check which plushies are in her room when she wakes up.
Oh
Nice.
boy.
Let me think. 'Cause we had three. There was the worm, the purple worm, Liazana, and the teddy bear. Today it's the purple worm and the teddy bear. Liazana might be off.
Uh, she's been kind of practicing understanding and also speaking backwards. So
Hmm.
she would try to ask the teddy bear in backwards speak whether Liazana is safe.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Oh my gosh, I don't have my dice. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. I'm gonna say roll a D100. Let's see what clicks.
There's one.
Oh, that's way too loud.
There's the other. Okay. D100. We have got a 27.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me roll mine, and we'll see. Okay. Let's see. This is a pretty brief sentence, and because you've been practicing, you'll probably pick it right up. Um, a teddy bear says, like, 'cause I can't think of how to do it, but safe with us is what it says backwards. Well,
Okay.
whether that's good or bad for, but safe with them.
She's gonna like cautiously pat Cornelius is what she's named the teddy bear.
Okay.
She'll pat Cornelius on the head and thank him for his intervention. I don't know how to say that backwards, but
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Alright.
Please continue to look after Liazana. I'll bring you stories of breakfast. I have a, and she doesn't exactly know this, but she says, I have a feeling you like the stories that I tell you when I come back to the bunk. So I'll bring you some more. And then she gets dressed for breakfast and goes to the galley.
I like it. Nice. Okay. You head down. Who else is there for breakfast time?
Probably Sadie.
Okay.
Zia would be late.
Okay. I'll give a minute then for Ashavar. If you have anything you want, you step in. You see Sadie in there currently, Vic in the kitchen getting some stuff set.
She'd probably slide into the kitchen or into where Sadie's standing and just, say hey. She's a
Hey,
social person.
Ashabar. Good
How,
morning.
how was your night?
Yeah. I had a
Restful?
sure. Just dreams here and there. But all in all, it was fine.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. How about yourself? How was your sleep?
Oh, like a rock, as usual.
What? Oh, like a rock? Did your rock
Oh.
sleep well?
Oh, I just meant that I don't dream. So usually
Oh,
when I go to sleep, it's just I pass out and then I wake up and I feel better.
not find it boring?
Not really.
Not.
Sometimes I talk to my it's hard to explain. I have a spirit that's connected to me. Sometimes I talk to them while I'm asleep, but sometimes they decide that it's better if I rest and they just leave me alone. In that case, I'm
Oh.
pretty much still as a stone.
Is a spirit your spirit or some other spirit?
Well, they don't belong to me. That's what you mean. I'm linked to them by ancestry,
Oh, so it's an ancestor.
kind of.
Okay.
They exist only on the dream plane, but I exist obviously here in the
Off of the
material
dream
plane.
plane. Right.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Well,
Sometimes,
it's really interesting. Sometimes
yeah.
what?
Sometimes they have cool stories that they tell me
Oh,
when I'm asleep, but
what's the coolest story it's told you?
hmm. There was a time when they were running from some other dream spirits that it was an opposite faction kind of thing, and they had to leave the dream plane. They ended up in the Underdark,
Oh.
and they met this colony of mushroom people,
Oh.
and the mushroom people were all part of a hive mind. So every time they talked to one of them, it was they were talking to the the whole hive mind, and the hive mind wanted them to talk to like the one in charge. And when they went down to talk to them, all that the one in charge wanted them to do was to get an owl bear out of their food stores because it kept eating all of their red meat.
Oh. Owlbears
And
like red meat, I guess. That's weird.
well, they'll eat a lot of
Sure.
things, I suppose. But yep. So
I love it. That sounds like what a story.
Well, and
So fantastical.
They ended up adopting the owlbear and taking him back to the dream realm. And
Oh,
as far as I know, the owlbears became a dream spirit and still lives there to this day. I think he's pretty happy.
that's nice. Thank you for sharing. It's fascinating.
At that moment, Zia comes in and sits down. The one thing you notice is that she's wearing an eye patch over her right eye.
Zia, what happened?
What'd you do to your eye?
Uh, it's a little complicated. Still trying
What?
to figure it out myself. Well, this started to happen, yeah, well, back when we found the focus. And she like lifts it up slightly, and you just see like this blinding light, and before she quickly puts it back down.
Holy heck.
Yeah, that was about my reaction as well. I can't get it to stop. I haven't slept at all. It's just pouring out endlessly, seemingly.
That's weird.
Does it make you tired?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know if it's like just like having it there is affecting my, I don't know, thinking in some way, but yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything I can do about it now, but just thought you should know.
Out
I
of
know it isn't.
character, is Zia now Cyclops from the X-Men?
Has that happened before?
Well, when I like kind of allow a lot of celestial energy into my body to the point where those wings expand, those like kind of incorporeal wings, um, that happens to my eyes, but only for very, very brief amounts of time, like only like a minute or so, like I think like this.
Almost like you've been infected by this celestial energy that
Yeah.
you've allowed into your body.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, like the closest like I ever kind of felt to like when we were coming back from having the focus was I when we were among some illithids a while back. It was not such a great time.
And it happened then too? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I lost a little bit of control around one of the books of Enoch. It was like as if this like second thing was like in my brain. And it lasted a bit longer than a minute, but after it was done, it was done, it was gone.
So all that celestial energy is being kept in your eye by a normal ass eye patch?
Well, this wasn't the first one. It took a
Oh.
few. Like if you saw my room right now, it's a little bit of a nightmare. I had to try to come up with some sort of seal that would work. And so it took quite a while. Vic helped a little bit, but at least it seals it to the point where it's just not like leaking out everywhere. I was this close to like if Vic hadn't come in, I would have just tried sewing it into the skin. Like I was that close to.
Oh.
It was driving me a little crazy last night. But anyway, who's hungry? It's been a long week. We've got the UAF after us. I guess we're pirates for real now. So
That's not so bad. I hear they have the best sea shanties.
oh yeah,
Air shanties, air shanties.
yeah. I guess that does make
Shanties, yeah.
a bit of sense in that regard.
Pretty funny.
Well, if you can deal with an exploding eyeball all night and still be hungry, I think it would be rude of me to not accompany you to breakfast.
Sadie, are you gonna join us?
Yeah. Bit hungry myself, so of course, let's go.
Okay. You all find a nice place to settle in, sit down there in the galley, and Vic's got nice, tasty, full breakfast for everyone. Able to top off that your bellies, get that energy going for the day, coffee if you want it. And you have the day ahead of you. I think Cassius would probably, everyone will join. Ilana being a little less talkative than normal, sort of processing everything that you'll experience on the island. And Grundy, just focusing on eating probably, and morning tea. And but Cassius will probably ask or present, well, it's clearly dangerous no matter where we go now. But where should we set the helm next? I'll kind of pass it over all of you, so I don't step on your toes with that.
Well,
So we're
Sadie, what?
priority.
Sadie will get her notebook out and just kind of take a look. Go through some of the pages. Well, aren't we heading to Mail? Isn't that what we're heading to next?
Yeah. Where the next looks at Alana, that's the next closest island with the ancient tech. He'll nod. Sure, yeah. That's, a couple months travel.
Oh.
Don't know what to expect though.
Maybe we should contact. I know this is a long shot, but Admiral Ruthonius. We do have a sending stone, and at the very least, we don't think that they can track that.
Did give me that nice alchemy kit.
Good idea.
As well.
Do you have any pointed questions to ask? Anything to make sure
If there's anywhere safe for us to land, like either at Miel or anywhere surrounding, if there are pirate-friendly ports or
Also,
contacts.
maybe warning him about the increased UAF activity, or at least Ashavar would advocate that. She doesn't like governments, especially their increased activity.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be a wise decision. I mean, they would probably want to know about that as much as we are experiencing it, I guess, as much as anyone. I guess is the way the saying goes.
We have been chased a lot.
Yeah, we'll have to keep a
I don't-
careful eye out.
I don't guess there's any reason not to tell Ruthlonius about. I mean, no reason to keep this hidden. If the UAF's after us, then And if we're going full pirate anyways, I guess I might want to keep Ruth close. Oh, if they
And
don't mind
he's-
being called Ruth.
Well, man, he's never gone back on his word with us.
Hmm.
So.
Think-
There is a first time for everything, though.
Hmm.
I think we should keep that in mind.
We'll have to weigh out the benefits versus how badly the rest of these pirates want that ancient tech. Do they know? We say we're going here. Are they going to jump on that? Do they know how active we are in finding this? I think so far they haven't. But now that the UAF has put a target on our back, they might start to wonder. Probably better to keep them friendly. Since the UAF.
mean,
Ruth hasn't. Sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
We could always tell them that they're just trying to get their wayward soul back, and she if Cassius is in the room, she will motion at Cassius. If he's not, she'll just mouth Cassius. I think we have quite a few ways to explain why the UAF is after us without explaining why the UAF is after us.
All right, I'm for it.
All right,
Yeah.
let's contact Wanda.
Do y'all know who has that particular sending stone? Is it
Cassius
Cassius?
does.
Okay.
Cassius has got all the sending stones. We just gave them all to him. We were like,
Nice.
here's all 20 of them. Don't get
Here's
them mixed
everything
up.
that's important, Cassius.
Nice. Do you want me to send this, or someone's going to be sort of the new face of our crew with Wanda there?
I almost feel like having you potentially send might be better since your brother. But I don't know. Does anybody else?
They barely know me, so I think I'll step away from that.
Okay. I toss this, the rock catches it. On this is Captain Cassius. UAF has a target on our back. Hope to lay low at Mael. Safe port there. UAF getting hungry. I think we'll kind of leave it at that. I'll still look around to see if there's anything else anyone wants to add.
Getting hungry too.
Down way.
Sadie, we just ate. We literally just had breakfast.
I'm always hungry.
3 empty plates there again. Nice. He'll
It's got beast inside of me.
nice.
You got that dog in you.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, well, sounds like she just responded here.
Oh,
She's saying that there isn't necessarily a pirate port there, but the UAF isn't really welcome there either. It's rarely traveled, but that because of that, we should be all right. Maybe get something to magic our ship a bit different while there, before we have to go to some place with the UAF presence. She sounds thankful.
Disguise our ship as a pleasure ship.
A hedonistic pleasure ship. Like,
Oh yeah.
No, the other kind of pleasure ship.
Like the
The
family,
Non-hedonistic
like a pleasure
type.
cruise. Yeah.
Yes. So many lights and like laser shows projected onto the air clouds with like just not R-rated shit that like parents would be like, "Oh my god, get away from the window."
If only we had somebody with skywriting.
Oh no.
That's amazing.
Like, call Brayla.
We need your help for some
We need your help.
sky porn.
We need some skywriting.
That I mean, that might be the first time it's ever come up in any D&D game ever. Where somebody was like, "Oh my god, what we really need right now."
There's skywriting.
Yeah. Brilith, unfortunately, is freaking out the very first time she's seen or experienced the Liazana doll suddenly show up. Like, wait, what? Liazana's a doll?
Oh,
What the
it's
fuck's going
still
on?
in doll form. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh.
I love the idea of
Yikes.
that just going on as a one shot somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's amazing.
That's happening.
Let me pause quickly and ask you all to roll just a straight d20 for the DM inspo. I don't want to forget again.
Okay.
And I'll go around and check in. When you're all set, Sarah, let me know what you got.
15.
15, okay. And Steph?
18.
And Claire?
10.
Oh, all right, Sarah, you got it. I rolled a 16.
Nice.
Hooray, nice, which I think is a D10 at our level. I think the name tag's pulled from that other file, because I'm pretty sure we're all like level 11. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Nice juicy D10. I'll fix those in a minute. Okay, so with the course decided, Cassius gives Kip the order to continue sort of a circuitous route here to avoid, in case, just a day ago, 2 days ago, one of the scout ships of that fleet was nearby and fled to report back. So, keeping it extra safe. Cassius is going to ask some folks to take watch, though, during just for the day, kind of breaking that up. So there'll be other crew, but I'll go around and have each of you, unless any of you don't want to do this, have like a little 4-hour stint to share with the rest of the crew. Okay. I'm sorry, this tense music just got really loud for some reason. Went from like almost non-existent to like all right. So I think for at least the first 3 days with this other fleet nearby, squadron rather, nearby, we'll do this. So who wants to do the first like watch of the day between the three of you?
Sadie will.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. Sadie, is your where do you want to be? Crow's Nest? Do you want to be walking around the upper deck?
You know, probably Crow's Next. Would be great.
All right.
That is a 9. Doing great.
Very well.
So perceptive.
All right. Keeping a careful eye out.
Mm-hmm.
Loud.
Sadie
That
gets
looks
a
like
little
a
bit
rabbit.
distracted
Yeah.
and then just starts, probably instead of looking around to see if anything's coming, she starts like studying the ship itself,
Oh yeah. That
because
makes
that's
sense.
kind of her thing. So she'll be like, oh wow, and just start
Mhm.
looking at different things and making notes and comparing notes, and probably like pulling it, like running to her cabin at some point to like get like a book that she had on ships to bring back, and just start looking at things, and it just gets out of hand.
Nice. Okay, excellent. Yeah, thankfully, nothing seems to happen over the course of that. Who wants to go next? Ask guy. Okay. Ashavar, do you want to also use the crow's nest, or do you want to go around the deck? What would you like to do?
So probably patrol the deck and
Okay.
spend some time in her usual haunt in the front of the ship where she plays her viola sometimes.
Okay.
And then patrol and then hang out there for a bit and rinse and repeat.
I'll give you a moment just to, if you don't mind, at the top, when it's your turn to jump in, a little role play just to relieve Sadie in the crow's nest, if you don't mind. Just let her know.
Okay. She does not have her wings yet, so
Oh,
she'll climb up to the crow's nest
okay.
and
Sadie doesn't
hey.
even notice.
Oh, you scared me. Oh, like she almost like drops the book over the side. So
Oh,
like,
that-
oh,
careful. I'm just here to relieve you. I'm on next
Okay.
shift. You can go back to your quarters and
okay.
study some
Well,
more or take a nap.
no, I think it's yeah, I think it's nap time. It's still in the middle of the day, isn't it? This isn't night watch, it's day watch,
Mhm.
isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, thanks. I think I'm gonna grab a snack. I'm getting a little hungry, and then I'll head to my quarters if you need anything. Good luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make a perception check, Ash, if you don't mind.
I am not proficient in that. 15.
15. What happens today? Okay. Thankfully on your watch, keeping a careful eye out, and then every so often pausing up front there where you'd like to practice your instrument and everything. No sign of anything out of the ordinary. Keeping careful eye out for those colors, or really just ships in general. Nothing. Zia, if you don't mind, I'll give you a moment to kind of relieve Ashavar of duty for your watch, unless you don't want to do the watch.
Oh yeah, Zia will. So, hey Ashavar, time's up. Vic's got dinner
Hey.
downstairs. It's really
Oh,
good.
hell yeah.
So have a good
Well,
time.
if any enemy ships come by, you got to test whether you can laser beam their hulls so that they sink from your,
Yeah. Eden already was like, worst case scenario, you could be a lighthouse for the rest of your life. So I've got that as a backup career now.
That seems boring. We can find you something better, I'm sure. But in the meantime, I gotta say, you look very rakish with the eye patch. So
Yeah, the irony is not lost on me. Hopefully we'll find a more permanent solution at some point, because I'm hoping I don't miss anything simply because I've only got one eye. So I asked Charles to come help me a little bit since he wasn't doing too much.
He's a good ghost. I don't know if she can see where Charles is, but she'll try to wave in his general direction before she goes down to the galley for dinner.
You probably see Charles. Now, Charles, if you recall, during the onslaught, Atmos was struck with something and had been feeling incredibly unwell. Struck with a spell by somebody. However, because Dan forgot to bring that back up as a thing, he's recovered. He seems to be doing better now. I kept looking at it like, oh, I gotta bring that back up, and then didn't really fit with what was going on. Thankfully, Charles seems to be recovered. Gives a gentle, wave of excitement, like, oh hey, he's that kind of person. It's like, he sees anyone he knows and likes, which is me. That's me. Just, okay, change out. Zia, go ahead and make a perception check if you can.
Woo. Should I do a disadvantage since she only has one eye?
That's pretty funny. I will. If you.
Well, okay. Since Charles is helping, we could say it's neutral.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because you got a lot of time to look around too. For what it's worth.
Okay, 18.
Okay. Good. That was the rolls. Your rolls successively got higher as potential rolls for things got higher, but you managed to
Oh,
stay ahead of
wow.
it. The whole thing. um, keeping a singular, very careful eye out. With Charles' thing. Yeah, thankfully, nothing today. Seems to be in the clear. Um, let's see. Yeah. So I guess I'll just check. We can kind of zip along, and I'll just we've got 2 more days of this. If you have anything you want to role play, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just kind of like advance it a little faster for the next 2 days.
Ooh, I would say in her downtime. I mean, I don't need to role play this, but just in the past next couple of days, anytime she can, Sadie would be probably helping Ash and stuff, like with the ship, that sort of thing.
Every day, a new discovery with this ship. Decoding the mysteries of this ancient technology is just proving, even though it's just a little speck at a time, it's really intriguing for Sadie, I imagine.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ashamar would
Mhm.
also be periodically checking on Ash just because she had that conversation with her about like the what are they called? My brain is saying the shadows, and I know that's not
Oh, the
what it is.
Order of the Spectres?
Of specters.
The Order of the
Yeah.
Specters,
Mhm.
and how she used to be involved with them, and like they had that intense like
Yeah.
interrogation
Yeah.
or whatever. And so she's gonna periodically like go and check on Ash, make sure she's okay.
Okay.
Like, holy shit, you got your horn cut off,
Yeah.
type stuff,
Mhm.
and also be making covert moon eyes because she's like
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
tragic and hopeless.
Amazing. You feel, after, you had that really intense conversation, and the next day when you're kind of following up and checking up, you start to notice a little bit of that being reciprocated too, like underlying that a little bit of a connection has been formed, and her being able to lay this bare, and I think it was you and Zia,
Yeah.
being accepting of that, like her worst fear of like cradled in that moment. It's okay. Allowed for, even more of a connection. So she even finds, over the next few days, seeks you out as well, here and there to check up and just, I don't know how perceptive you are to like being flirted with, but she's definitely coming around for things that, no one needs to come around for. Like, oh, just checking in to see, how was lunch today? Stuff like that.
Oh, she's oblivious.
Okay,
Like
perfect.
she's one of those like charlatans who's really good at deceiving people and thinks that she's so smart that she can never be deceived,
Yeah.
but actually has like shit, she actually has a good insight score. So, but in that particular area,
Area, not so much. Okay, nice.
it like there's a meme that I found for one of my Final Fantasy characters that it's like, if you want to be my lover, you got to be really straight with me because I cannot tell if you're flirting with me or not.
I love that. Nice.
So she's like
Mhm.
doing her covert doe eyes thing and getting excited every time Ash comes around, but she is not really noticing the reciprocation that much.
Excellent. Well, at least you're getting some extra time with that,
Yes.
and it's nice. Okay.
It's very nice.
Anything for Zia, or do you want me to advance to the other?
Zia's definitely gonna at least have a conversation with Eden about the eye stuff.
Oh.
Being very, very careful because apparently exposing Eden to that light hurts her. So that's gonna be a little difficult, but at least looking into potentially more permanent solutions than what Vic and Zia have come up with.
Okay. Yeah. Eden, as Eden's happy to help in a very Eden way. It's hard to read, but they seem to be plenty fine assisting. Let's see, what would be causing it? Was there any particular moment that sparked the ignition in that eye? I'm trying to think back.
When Zia activated her radiant soul in the battle with the crazed fairy, it just never shut off after, and it has kind of been in reference to the focus a little bit. So it seems like when she's closer to these items, that the draw from that is more powerful.
Excellent. Okay. Let me update. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, especially with the focus, huh? Okay. By the way, who would have to focus now? Where would that be?
I believe, like all things,
Cassius.
that Cassius has it.
You probably lock it up in that like lockup area that he has
Yeah.
now, the double lock area.
Yeah.
All right, so Eden will probably that's rather strange. I'd like to test a bit with the focus. If you're alright with that. I don't think it can make it worse. Dealing with the unknown.
I am. So the last time with the Book of Enoch where I like started to lose control, it was when I was directly like had it in my hands. And so I just want to make sure that it's not, in that situation, I ended up attacking allies unintentionally. And I don't want you or anybody else to get hurt.
Let's wait until we've docked then to test this. So we can run you ashore if we need and get some distance between you and the focus if need be.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think that's best.
Hmm.
In that moment, it almost felt like there was like another presence in my head. And so that's the thing. It's just like overpowering. And so I just want to be careful of that.
Hey. Can you tell me anything of this other feeling of another presence?
It definitely feels celestial. I at one point did hear some discussions with Titania that she kind of experiences something similar when she's having her visions. And so, but of course I can't really speak with her right now without putting her in even more danger than she's in, because the mind link that we have is essentially compromised.
Yes.
So we don't even know if she's safe.
Well, I will think on this, and perhaps we can discuss more and attempt a thing or two along our journey. Yes, let's reconvene. I'll call you in a few days. I'll summon for you.
Okay. Until then, we cobbled something together, but I'm wondering, is there any way to maybe like cast a kind of like thaumaturgy or magical darkness or something to just like right now it's just like kind of unwieldy.
I could cast a magical darkness on the eye itself. I could condense it.
Yeah, that would be fantastic if that's okay.
Of course. All right, here it goes. Hold still, please, and they'll as they peel it back, it starts they're on them a little bit. It feels good, and they're gonna have to touch your eyeball for darkness, but and the magical darkness conceals it. The two are almost contesting. It kind of looks like a miniature little thunderstorm that just exists in the space of your eye, like light's trying to crackle out, but it can't.
Well, I still can't really see out of it, but I mean, I guess that's to be expected with magical darkness. How does it look? Does it look okay?
It looks well rather intriguing, and they'll kind of describe like what it looks like. Perhaps if if anyone on the ship has capacity, but perhaps some sort of restoration on the eye exists off the top of my head. If not with a fellow crewmate, perhaps once we dock somewhere. See, just
Yeah.
needs to be restored, perhaps as a band-aid anyway. Clearly, there's a larger reason behind it.
Yeah.
Or I can only damage things.
I was just looking at everyone, like, yeah, no, I think Grundy's level 2 druid and mostly barbarian, so.
Even so, if somebody were to cast it, it might just have the effect of removing the magical darkness and not actually fixing it. But I think it's a good idea.
I
Once
try to freeze your eye.
it's now just a chunk of ice and in magical darkness, and there's light trying to make forth.
A thunderstorm and ice now. Yeah.
You just go into your optometrist, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm just trying to stop lasering people in the face.
I tried to fix it on my own.
Oh no.
Zia is probably going to keep the eye patch off on the ship, but we'll probably put it back on when they leave, simply because it's probably more normal to see an eye patch than it is to see a thunderstorm eye.
Nice.
But who's to say?
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Eden. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, skipping on to the next day, then we have 2 more days to try and kind of clear this area without getting spotted. So I'll just go around this time and ask for perception checks without, having to relieve one another and stuff to keep it zipping along. I guess Sadie, if you're going first again, can you give me a perception check?
Yep. Let's
For the day
go.
here. Okay.
That's a 5.
Okay.
Um,
This ship, it's so intriguing. There's every time you look at it, you're perceiving something different that you didn't before. Whether it's the craftsmanship or the way it manipulates magic, or just something about the design every time. But thankfully, nothing happens on your watch.
Yeah.
I'll jump over to Ashavar for perception. I just rolled one thing for the day, so
11.
okay. Are you sort of walking the deck again?
Yep.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
doesn't like
same.
to stay still, so that's why she's not in the crow's nest.
Nice. Yeah, you get to interact with some of the other crewmates. Nothing shows up in your watch, thankfully. Boots is up there. Boots hangs out for a little bit.
I imagine we sing some sea shanties together.
For sure. Yeah. Boots wants to get caught up. He wants to know a little bit about like things that went down on the Hogan. Why is everyone like so effed up when they came back? And like what's going on? But then gets into the cheer and does some singing with
Yeah, she'll be like, "Walk with me," and while she's on patrol, and tell him about what happened
Nice.
in really colorful language.
Beautiful.
That's how she.
of course.
Love it. All right, and a perception for Zia.
We've got the wonderful, wonderful 11.
Okay, beautiful. Same thing. Are you up in the thing or walking around the deck?
I think at this point she would probably be in the crow's nest this time just for some variety.
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, you peer around, use a spyglass here and there when warranted. But thankfully don't come across anything. And I'm just gonna move us to the third day again. Pause me if there's anything you want to do. Otherwise, we'll go around for the third day. Sadie, go ahead and give me perception for the third day.
15 on the third
Oh,
day.
nice.
Ooh.
Today's a little harder today to perceive stuff because there is a storm settling and the clouds have
Of
started to
course.
build.
Ugh.
Towards the end of your watch, the rain starts to let loose. It's a rather unavoidable storm. It's the direction you're heading. Kip made a couple of adjustments, but it's just a wide range storm. However, thankfully, nothing shows up. And the rain's starting just as you're tagging out with Ashavar, who'll be stuck in some moderately heavy rain for this watch.
I'm so
Uh,
sorry. If I could stop it, I would, but
So Ashavar is not paying attention to any apologies because rain is the precursor to ice and storms are chaos and so she's gonna ask Sadie, can you just hang on there for just a second? And bolstered by the chaos of the storm and the excitement of being able to just like sit out in the deck in this like coalescing maelstrom of nonsense. She's gonna run down below deck and see if Ash is down there. And if she
Okay.
is, she's gonna be like, "You have to come up on deck with me. There's a big storm. It's gonna be fun."
Awesome. Oh, really? All right. Well, I love a good storm. All right, let's go up. Let's go up to the top of that deck and we'll take a look. And look, see, I
All
love
right,
that.
she grabs her hand and just like trucks
Nice.
up back up deck and says like, "All right, we're good." And this time she does climb up to the crow's nest because like that's the best spot to almost be struck by lightning.
It's true. Yeah. Okay. Are you sure we're safe up here? Um,
No,
no. All right.
that's the best part.
All right. Uh,
Oh, you can climb down if you want, but
you see her like weighing out like, no, this seems like a special moment. I want to stay, and like I don't want to get struck by lightning. It is tough. She
okay,
stays.
we
She
could we
stays.
could okay.
She'll stay. It's all right. It's all right. We've had worse, haven't we? So oh,
Yeah, I mean, if lightning comes, I'll just like throw more lightning at it. It'll be fine.
nice. That you're talking to one another and it's dark, right? Like the ambient light's really low, and you can just see, Ash is enjoying, watching the there's some more light. Oh, it's cracking across the clouds. Oh, there's a whole wall of rain coming in. Extra wall of heavy rain rushes over. The two of you, just rain pouring down, the hair flat, racing, water running down. But it's nice. She's enjoying herself with you.
Yeah,
What was your perception check? Or
I had not rolled it
okay,
yet.
sorry.
That is an 8.
I'm on an 8. I sent one of you a direct message too, by the way. Okay, cool. Let's see, an 8. So you're keeping a careful eye as best you can. Visibility is pretty low now. However, so far, things seem normal for most of your watch. But as you're getting into 8, huh? Yeah,
Yep.
I guess you would notice. Yeah, thunderstorm. Yep, lightning, the thunder's rolling. It's beautiful. Feels great. It's a nice. It's like a warm rain, not one of the cold rains. So feels pretty nice to be experiencing. But you do know, for Zia, it's about time to swap out. I'll give you a moment because the two of them are up there. Do you even want to get them down from the crow's nest, or are you like, I'll leave them to their thing up there, and just take watch?
I mean, Zia might not have the best eyesight in the world, but even she knows that she should, let people have their moments.
Okay, nice.
So she just goes to the front of the ship and is looking
Okay,
directly off.
go ahead and give me a perception check. See.
So that is a 19.
You do notice issue. Well, there's the storms around you, and off to the sides, you're also watching these walls of rain. It's very, again, low light now, very diffused thanks to the heavy gray thunder clouds and the beautiful walls of rain push by over the ship. There's a slight breeze, nothing too heavy, but it whips every so often. But as you look forward, you get to the front of the ship, panning around the storm and looking towards the front, you do notice something a little different about the storm not far off from the front of the ship. And that's that the lightning starting to get a purplish hue to it. Check in and see what you'd like to do as you notice that, if anything.
Zia would immediately call Charles, hopefully he's nearby, and basically be like, I need you to tell the captain immediately that we've sighted some purple lightning. You remember what happened last time?
I certainly do. Yes. Okay,
Okay.
Captain. All right.
Okay. And we need to also inform everybody who got sick last time that they should be prepared for that to happen again.
Yes. And
Thank you.
Of course, as you and Charles sort of calculate, who got sick last time? I feel like the only people that are here that got sick last time. Let me think about this. Would be because Breedless not here anymore. I think it would be you and Charles.
Hold on, I'm pulling up my notes.
Okay.
I think it might just be me and Charles.
I think it might just be you and Charles, but let me know if there's anyone else in your notes.
Hold on.
Can I have a quick refresher on why people got sick from the purple lightning?
We don't know.
Yeah, no one figured out what was behind or what the connection might be. But through that storm, yeah. And then I think there was even like that hand that pushed through the lightning.
Yeah.
Actually didn't grab it; kind of went out like this.
We had Akracus and Titania were first, then Zia, Sinister, Liazana.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. Yeah, it was Zia, Titania, or Akracus, Sinister, Charles, Charlie, and Bo. Even the cat. Even the ghost cat, Dan.
Right. Yeah, because I don't think Liazana would have, but yeah. Yeah, even the cat. So Charles, Charlie, and you were the only ones that overlap currently.
Okay, so Zia remembers this the second that she's finished giving the directions. It is like, wait a minute. And so at that moment, she mind links with Cassius.
Okay.
And Purple Lightning sighted. Remember the last time or a bunch of us got sick? I believe of us on the crew right now, it would only be myself and Charles, who's here with me. We might want to let everybody else know. Only letting know via mind link because it's an emergency.
Okay. You get like let's see, how much would he want to write? Get yourselves, you and Charles, to the med bay. I'll let everyone know.
Right.
Better be prepared.
We need somebody else also on patrol, since it's my shift.
Understood.
I'll take a double next time.
Nice. All right. Yeah, and Cassius will start issuing commands and letting where's it gets in that chain of command and giving it to other crewmates. You get Wisp on watch. Are you going with Charles to like the med bay area? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head down to that area. We'll say it's like a couple of I have to figure out where it is in the ship, but probably near Eden's spot because there's some storage and other stuff. Maybe we'll make it in the crew area and just have like two bunks have been, taken up for the little med bay area. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, you go there. Uh, and Charles does, and Charlie. And yeah, so Vic comes and lets you know, Sadie. Um, Wait, you weren't here last time, but just to be prepared, we're entering a storm that has purple lightning, and it made some people on the ship sick, but we don't even why. So just watch yourself. Cassius has asked that you go to the mid bay just in case it affects you. Um,
Okay.
all right, thank you. Have you seen Ashavar?
Uh, Not since she relieved me from my watch, but so maybe near the crow's nest.
Thank you. And just gives a nod,
And
heads out.
Sadie will go to the sick bay, the med bay, whatever.
So you'll get, Vic will kind of shout up, but it's kind of hard to hear over the rain. So he'll climb up and awkwardly bob his head like into the bottom of the crow's nest. Oh, sorry. And covers the whole thing. Like, but you wasn't sick last time, but we're sending the others. So just be prepared just in case. Aye, that's all. Cotton Taurus. So.
So they don't need me to move right now.
Correct. You just wanted to be made aware.
Okay.
Back down. Carry on telling people.
I'll turn to Ash and be like, do you want me to take you down to the sick bay? You weren't sick last time, but
I wasn't sick last time. Maybe down from here. Maybe if we pass out up here, I'm just over the edge. Like get somewhere a little bit where we could help people. Maybe if anything happens, or
sounds good. We climb down. And I guess Ashavar would take a position closer to the front of the ship, maybe to try to deflect some of the purple lightning with her ice spells, possibly.
okay,
At least that's her thinking at the time.
sure.
She doesn't know if she can actually do it, but
Okay. Ash will probably go down to the med bay just in case there's anything that you can do down there for people. Yeah, or she'll check in there. She'll be ready to do that or manage a ship in case anything happens, engine wise. Okay, well, as you continue moving further through the storm, Kip tries to, again, course adjust a bit, but the storm's just too big. And there really isn't much of without turning around entirely. I think Cassius will come down to Med Bay, finding, of course, Ashavar, sorry, Sadie's there, and Zia, Charles, and Charlie. And he'll just ask, it looks like we've got to push through the storm. The only alternative is doing a complete 180, and I'm concerned about what might be trailing us, so we're trying to be in our trail. But I want to put the choice in your hands since you got so sick last time. To Zia, probably.
So Z at this stage is like very cautious about speaking because last time what happened was that she found that she couldn't speak common. Everything just came out in Celestial, and then also the energy that was seeping was actually starting to hurt others around her. So she's like at the opposite side of the room, just being like,
Zia,
uh, hi, um, can you understand me?
is Zia okay?
Comes
Is
out as
she Zia? Get over here. We're trying to discuss a situation.
I understand. Last time bad things happened to the people around me when I spoke. So I just want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. I am okay
Zia,
with moving forward. I will be able to be okay. I think Charles, are you also
um,
okay?
I feel a little bit like queasy, I guess, but feel okay-ish, I guess. I'm just nervous, maybe might be nerves.
Is Charlie just like walking up and just
Mm,
like nuzzling against Charles,
for
being like, it'll
sure.
be okay.
Yeah, yeah. Little paw up on the arm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we can move forward. Um, but we will um barricade ourselves in here a little bit just to be extra safe.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, Zia, if you don't mind?
It's begun.
Yes.
Uh, 3.
Okay.
Oh,
Sadie, you're not sure why Zia started singing instead of like, she was talking to you, but then started singing. You did not realize that Zia had such an incredible singing voice. It's absolutely angelic. And the words don't make sense anymore. So it's just like, it's like 5 or 6 people in a choir singing at once with angelic voices when she talks. Do you
are
understand,
you
Celestial?
thanks, I'm really double check.
I should probably check. And Ashavar, do you?
No, no.
Ashavar does speak celestial. Yes.
Okay, so oh right, you're readying up on the deck. Okay, but it's good to know. Okay, Sadie, I'm not sure what's going on. Like,
Um, are we sure? Sadie will just turn to someone else.
okay,
Are
Cassius is
are we sure that we don't, just kind of like she'll, occasionally look over and see how, like, this is all very confusing. Um, are are we sure that we don't want someone? I mean, do we want to barricade everyone in here? Do we need someone outside just in case something happens?
that's the tricky part is we want to care for them and also not be hurt by them. We barricade them and they're dying in here. We can't do anything. We won't even know. But if we stick too close, I think we need to play by ear. I don't think a barricade would be good, but maybe a little distance, like be out in the hallway, be across the hallway, and just sort of
Yeah,
trying to keep an eye.
I'll be more than willing to, if you want to keep us whatever people in here as you want to, I can go outside and just weather the storm. It's not the first storm I've been in, so it won't be the last.
Hmm.
Um, but I wouldn't mind just kind of stand and watch, and
um,
if I get sick, I get sick.
it's up to
I
you. I think maybe
Obviously Sadie's a little like skeptical about this whole like, oh,
nice.
the lightning makes us sick.
So let me see. As you're discussing this, um, let me see. Do you have your notes at all, Claire? I'm sorry to lean on you this. I don't know if it's based on episode number or not. If you happen to know which.
You're muted.
Sorry, in my notes, I have it as the 57th session, but date-wise, it was from July 9th, 2022.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Which it was, yeah, it's crazy to think that the last time we experienced
Oh,
this was over a year
jeez.
ago.
Oh,
What?
Right?
jeez. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm suddenly very confused as a person.
It does not feel like it was that long ago, but it was that
Oh,
long
No
ago.
kidding. No kidding. All right, let's see.
Um,
I am checking something.
is there anything specific you need, mechanic or otherwise?
Yeah, but it's in my notes on the back
Ah,
end.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not going
so
to be in my
sorry.
notes.
I have it close though. I have it close.
Okay.
Let's see, and if not, I have a pretty rough idea of what was going. Here it is. Okay.
Woo!
All right, is this one yours? Which one's yours? Oh, yeah. How interesting. There's something strange on your end, Zia. As you're listening to Sadie say these things, you can just inherently tell there's this energy of detecting that it's truthful. Like it's like a little like almost like a lie detector test. As she's saying these things, I've been in a storm before. It just pings like, well, that's true. It's truthful, and there's like this added layer to what she's saying of truthful or not. As far as your side of things goes, you probably hear yourself, start changing over to celestial as well. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's All right. So with that three, let's roll. Uh, really, how interesting. Okay.
Steph, your reactions, priceless. Literally.
Nice. So you the two of you are in this room. Charles and Charlie are here as well, but Sadie and Zia, Cassius is in the doorway, and Sadie, as you're like skeptical, like, what does lightning have to do with like people's, this and that? Um, wow. Can you please make a dexterity saving throw, Sadie?
Sure. Let's go. Oh. A two.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh.
All right. I've got to do some rolls. Once again, so the ache in your eye, Zia, is it's not terrible, but it's definitely like that sinus pressure. You have like a sinus headache, and you get that pressure behind your eye, and but it's still like in that balance of darkness and light. Um, but you feel as you're trying to, cease the speaking or whatever it might be, with like realizing that you're speaking celestially. You remember this. There is that surge, sort of from like inside your chest cavity of this very sudden, rapid burst of celestial energy. And just check on Charles. Oh, you go, Charles. And Charlie's as nimble as a cat. Okay. So Sadie. Jeez. Sadie, you take 19 points of fire damage. And
Yikes.
then and 17 points of radiant damage. And you're just knocked across the room into the wall. You fall on the bed. As
Well, at least
this,
you're already in the med bay.
yeah, wave just boom, vamps out, and then Zia feels better. Feels like a relief, like that's happened. And it's like, um, Charles and Charlie take a little bit of damage from that. They get knocked back just a little. They get kind of knocked down, but they don't quite lose their footing. But take a little bit of damage because they're defeated. But I'll give you a moment. Cash is like, oh, all right.
I think I'm gonna go outside this
Zia
room.
Different
cries
room?
out,
Okay.
like trying to tell them to leave. Get out, get out. It also is profusely apologizing.
Nice. Hi, Cassius. All right, Sadie, come on. That's the next room. Across the hall, maybe. Kind of like helps you up. And
Okay.
oh, Charlie, come on. A different room for you two. Jeez. All right. As you are all leaving the room, except for Zia, that's right. It would be Cassius or Sadie. Oh, sweet Sadie. Okay. Sadie, can you please make a Constitution saving throw? As you and Cassius are leaving the room, Cassius trying to help you out. Charles and Charlie walking behind you go across the hall.
24.
24. Yes.
Great.
You feel like your vision like it gets dark and then like what, you're trying to rub your eyes, like what happened? Am I concussed? But your vision like flickers in and out but then returns intact as you get across the hallway. Lightning cracks above, snap of thunder when it's right overhead. You, Sadie, outside of taking all that damage, feel okay. You don't have any of the queasiness Charles was talking about. Nothing seems to be
Okay.
manifesting or anything for what it's worth.
Making her even more skeptical.
Cash is like, are you rest here, Charlie, Dex room? And I'm gonna double check with everyone and see if anyone else is feeling symptoms, and I'll be back.
Okay, can I at least, I mean, I'm still okay. I mean, I'm feeling fine. I mean, I'll just keep an eye on the doors outside. It's okay.
All right, if you feel anything, back down here
We'll
and
do.
let us know. Okay, understood.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. And you, whereabouts did you want to head on the ship?
She just wants to make sure because I'm guessing are they downstairs currently
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
um so if I head upstairs, is that out on the deck of the
You can
ship?
head up there if you want. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, she just wants to either if she knows that there's another way down to those doors, she'll just stay by those doors. But if she knows it's the only way out and in, she'll guard the main doorway that leads out.
Okay, there's
That makes
two
sense.
that lead down to this hallway,
Yeah.
one on either side of the captain's quarters, but you can definitely keep an eye there or hang out in
Yeah.
front of the captain's quarters to keep an eye on both.
Yeah, she'll hang out from the captain's quarters and keep an eye on both. Plus, she probably is super interested in this weird purple lightning that everyone's so afraid of.
Yeah, you want to see it, right? You're like, what is this? So you race down the hall, but you end up crop dusting the hallway. You're like, now I've got to go take a dump now? And you're like, I can knock this out quick. I know I can.
Oh, no.
And that's where we'll take our bio break.
Sure.
And then we'll come back and we get to check out the
Perfect.
My goodness.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, we take about a 10-minute bio break. I'm going to start it now. Our audio will be live, so chat with us if you want. We'll catch you in about 10 minutes. If this transition's going to work, we'll see. Yay! It worked. Okay.
It worked.
It worked right into an ad. Oh my goodness. There's a
Oh,
bison
damn.
with wings.
What timing? Okay, so I'm gonna go grab a little snacky boo, and then I'll be back, and
Yeah.
we'll continue our journey
Yeah.
with Purple Thunderstorm. What is it? All right. Celestial energy, pop it off. I guess. sorts of fun stuff. Yeah.
Good a time as ever for weird celestial shit.
Yes. Let's see. All right, yeah. Let me bring us back. Boop. If it's gonna, oh, that did not run. The the thing it was supposed to just cut hard back to. Well, let's take a look at that one. Supposed to run this. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't understand why it doesn't. It's supposed to be the E20 stinger. Okay. We'll see. Maybe it'll work next time. Anywho. Alright. So, Sadie knocks out that poo. Runs up onto the upper deck. And, yeah, make a perception check as you're examining this thunderstorm. Did I share the thunderstorm YouTube link in chat? Or did I accidentally send it to
I think we have it.
Okay.
Is it called Heavy Thunderstorm Sounds?
Nope, not just kidding. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
That's perception check, Sadie. 2?
I didn't realize. I don't know why my mic was muted. 7.
7. Okay, from where you're standing, I mean, it's torrential rain. The winds are whipping a little bit. Nothing terrible. I mean, you've been in, again, like you said, you've been in bigger, like, windier
Yeah.
storms than this, at least. But the lightning that is cracking across the clouds and from an upper cloud layer to a lower cloud layer, sometimes down to, the omega sea below, is intensely purple at its core.
Interesting.
7. Yeah, that's all I see.
Oh, that's fine.
For now.
Yeah, she'll just kind of just stand there at the captain's quarters and just kind of like lean against the wall,
Okay.
just kind of like keeping an eye out. I know she only rolled a 7, keeping an eye out and also kind of like occasionally glancing up at the purple lightning. Actually, the purple lightning is probably distracting her, so that's the 7.
Okay. Yeah. There's a number of other crewmates. There's Wisp that's keeping an eye out as best as he can for other ships in this mess. But there are other crewmates that are hustling about, battening things down, doing what they can, what they need to at Vic's direction. Vic's up there on the upper deck, shouting orders over the sounds of the storm and making sure the ship stays safe as it navigates through here. Ashavar, would you mind rolling a perception check? I'm going to say with advantage because you're at the very front of the ship with no obstructions and just the storm sprawling out before you.
Okay.
And you've been like...
Oh. I feel like I should take a picture of my dice because it was a natural 20 and a natural 1.
Oh! Oh, thank goodness for advantage. Wow, that's wild. Okay.
So 21.
Beautiful. Okay, it's mesmerizing in its own right. The colors and shades of purple that dance with this lightning. But you start noticing something in the moments that the lightning illuminates the clouds. Sunken in divots in portions of the cloud. Probably a good, half a mile wide each, right? It's way up in the clouds here. And between that raised section or lowered section of cloud that dips down, and it has a little bit of a movement as though there's an unseen force moving and pushing these clouds. The more you look at it with your 21, the more, the man on Mars, the face on Mars, that's pretty much what you're seeing kind of push through some of the clouds up ahead. the lightning seemingly like often stemming from that area. Out to 21, you'll even catch off to the side at one point, like a hand is passing through the clouds, trying to push through them. Like those little toys that you get as kids with it's like a box, clear box full of needles, and you like push it, and it has that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that. It can't get through, but it's pushing on the clouds. And I'll let you do with that whatever you wish, if anything.
Okay. So with my repertoire of ice spells, I don't know if I can do this. But I would like to try possibly with Ice Storm or Snowlock's, no, probably not the Snowball Storm. I would like to try to freeze the rain in front of me, going to where I see that face, and try to run up to it.
Oh.
And like hop to where it is.
Nice. So this is doable, but to make sure I'm setting the scene too, this would be pretty far to run. So you could do it, but you'd end up decently far away from the ship on the ice while it's lasting, because the ice won't
Well,
be-
you know,
so.
Ashvar is very not considerate of her own personal safety
Okay.
when there's when there's shit to be done.
Nice.
So
Well, let's check and see if it's manageable. What we'll do is you cast a spell. At what level do you cast the spell?
say she casts Ice Storm at 4th level to just
So-
try to freeze all the rain like in her general vicinity.
Awesome. Let me see. I'm just going to calculate a DC here real quick. I just want to pull up that spell so I'm sure that I do it justice. I'm sorry. So which one was it? Ice Storm?
Ice Storm, it says a hail of rock hard ice pounds to the ground.
You can tweak that a bit. Yeah. Okay. I like what you're going for here. Ice Storm. Okay. And I'm sorry. You're casting it at which level again?
4th.
4th level. Okay. All right. 40-foot cylinder. But we're tweaking a little bit. It'll take a little bit of Arcana to tweak this into the distance that you'll need. So we'll probably break it down into a few checks. But let's do an Arcana check and see if you can like reshape the spell a bit to do what you're looking to do.
Okay. My poor dump stat. 17.
Okay. Now, are you trying to attach this to like the front of the ship so it kind of moves with you? As you build this bridge up?
Given the fact that the purple lightning made my crewmates sick, no.
Okay.
I don't want to drag my crewmates in with me for
Okay.
whatever feckless thing that I'm doing.
So, I will say to kind of set the stakes so 17 you got, I think, for your Arcana?
Yeah.
That succeeds on this first. It's going to be like you get enough to reach a third of the way. So it'll probably be broken into thirds. And as you cast this, it's difficult. And climbing and attaching it to the next phase is going to be more difficult. DC is going to rise a little bit each time. So, armed with that knowledge, would you like to climb aboard this first, raft of ice and start climbing?
Yep.
Okay. Right, you hustle up to this first one. Let me break this up a little, so I've got time for everyone to in case anyone wants to react or anything like that. We'll honor that as well. Anyone on the deck will see that. So Sadie, you'll see Ashvar in this this intense show of arcane prowess, draws this cold from the skies itself and reshapes this sort of like loose stairway of ice a third of the way up to this cloud far above. As you look up, you now see what it's sort of pointed toward is this face on Mars kind of thing pushing through the clouds up above. Is there anything you'd like to do in this sort of round as you see Ashvar cast that and she's booking it up the ice?
Mental message directly to Ashvar. What are you doing?
Last time that lightning hit the ship and our friends, it made them all sick. And
You're gonna take it on by yourself?
it seems like the fun thing to do.
I don't think it's a smart thing to do, Ashvar.
I don't do smart things.
That wraps up that round. This one. So I can't
It's okay.
have him work. Zio, can you make a perception check for me? Down
Oh,
below.
boy.
And
How would I perceive anything? Oh, 17.
17. You begin to hear a celestial song almost. It's not quite speech because there aren't words to it, but those beautiful multitonal the choir of music, and it has like a compelling feeling. Like you need to go follow it and see what it wants to tell you, what it is. There's a curiosity that pulls. Can I ask you to make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Boy.
Now, if you're just interested, you can just be like, "Yeah, okay, I want to check it out." But this is just for the compulsion effect.
I mean, now that we have Ashavar setting up the conceptualization of rounds, we'll do a wisdom check first.
Okay.
18 for this one.
18. Okay. You are not so pulled that you must do it. Rather, it's an intense curiosity, and like there's almost the part that really picks at your curiosity is it feels like there's something familiar about it. So for this first round, is there any movement, anything like that you'd like to do in this first round?
I think Zia is gonna walk slowly to the door.
Okay.
That's the med bay room. Can she detect any sort of directionality to this?
Yeah, certainly. It feels outside of the ship and in somewhere ahead of the ship. And it's in the direction you're heading as the ship takes you. But
Okay.
it's up above somewhere.
I feel like this round would end with her kind of just like at the door.
You can get as far as because that's you can get as far as the end of the hallway, which would
Perfect.
lead you to
Great.
but that's it.
Fantastic.
So you're at the bottom of the stairs, looking up. You can see like the rain and stuff on the upper deck, but not much because you're at the bottom of the stairs here. Okay, next round, Ashavar. You've made it up. The ship, the ice, of course, stationary. The ship moving. Do you want to continue here to build that next layer?
How far away from this mysterious face am I?
You're about 1/3 of the way up there. You would take 2 more rounds of your ice spell to
Like
reach.
feet wise?
Feet. Well, it's actually fairly far.
Okay.
So, but it's like we'll accommodate that with your Arcana, like taking this, and just kind of stretching it to fit. I didn't want to put like a foot thing on it because it's much further than the spell would feasibly do. So I want to kind of like
Gotcha.
magic it up a
Gotcha.
little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Nope, she's gonna continue trying to do what she's been doing. It's worked so far.
Okay. So you cast a spell again,
Mm-hmm.
and go ahead and make an Arcana check. I will say for the role play of this, I'll let you do this at advantage.
Okay.
I imagine the stakes are pretty high, and you're pretty focused, and as the ship continues on beneath you. Okay,
I'm gonna use my DM die, which is a
Oh.
D10. You said.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go. 13.
And you roll with advantage.
Yeah. My advantage roll was 9. We'll see if she can recover.
Yeah. You pull up this next sheet and you begin running up the second section. You know what I'll do for this one? Because I want to honor all the role play and keep the stakes too. It's not that it entirely fails, but it's fragile. It's much thinner than you intended to make it. So as you're running up, like thin ice, some sections start to break. You make a dexterity saving throw to avoid just, falling out from one of these sections that you're trying to, continue with.
Oh, for heaven's sake. 12. No. 13.
13 just succeeds. Okay. Oh, panic. Okay. Whoa, and you almost drop and do a quick hop, and hustle, making it, you're almost to the edge of this, at the end of your turn, this next section. So I'll go back to Sadie. Sadie, this ice is stationary. The ship is moving, it's sailing. So as you're watching this, you're kind of watching it go by, and watching Ashafar race up this thing. The ice stair is now behind the ship. What would you like to do, if anything?
Well, since we're moving and the ice steps are going behind the ship, I would assume by the time that I run to them, like it's too far gone for me to jump on them, right?
So because the turns are sort of simultaneous, I'll say that there is, if you're fast enough, there's an instance to try and jump on that lower sheet of ice and start catching up. You would have to do probably an athletics check to leap over and grab the bottom ice sheet, if that's what you're wanting to do.
um, I'm just looking up something really fast.
Absolutely. Yeah, take your time. Check your stuff.
I'm just checking to see if something would help me out here.
I'm gonna add a little bit of, it's not battle, but I'm gonna add a little bit of that battle music. That pumps up the tension. I'll put it in Zoom too.
I'm honestly loving this. Like,
This is really cool.
this is the best kind of tension because it's not like battle tension.
Right. It's just intense.
Yeah, like sometimes you're like, okay, we're doing a perception roll, and it's like, okay, we're gonna perceive something. But this is you mess up this roll and you fall into the abyss.
Sky.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, I think the Lana survived somehow in the abyss for 1,000 plus years. So, Ashavar, maybe in 1,000 years, somebody in another campaign will find you.
I have a dimension door in my pocket.
Oh, good. All right, Sadie, you figure yourself out?
Okay. How are the is like the edge of like, so you have the top deck, you have, I'm guessing, like some kind of railing around the edge of the ship to keep people from just
Mm-hmm.
tumbling off.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Is that just a solid wall? Are there any places to possibly like um I don't know, tie a rope?
Oh, well, there's plenty of places to tie a rope because that's used a lot with the mooring when you dock and with to tie a bunch of stuff off with the sails. Now, I don't know if you'll have enough time to get really fast to get on that ice. I don't know if you take the time, you can probably grab the rope but not tie it yet and make your jump, and then try and tie it while you're climbing or falling or whatever else. But to stop and tie a rope off, the ship would fly past it. But you could grab it. There's already ropes tied off on there, loops of rope.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if she would see a loop of rope, and she's gonna try to, with the roll of her eyes, is going to run towards this staircase, and if there's a rope tied near, she'll grab it.
Mm-hmm.
If not, she'll just um she will
It's okay. There
is
is.
there
Yeah.
no. And then also remember that her speed is like 50 feet,
Okay.
if that helps any at all. So she's a little bit quicker.
Yep.
Um,
That's what's
but
giving her
yeah,
time to get there for sure, and grab the rope.
yeah. So she'll grab the rope and make a jump.
Right. The bottom of this stair rail is like this, and the ship is facing this way, going. So you're running sideways. You quickly
Yeah.
grab a thing of rope, step up on the whale uh, the rail there that protects you from falling off the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and jump
Mm-hmm.
and leap to grab the ragged edge of the side of this ice thing. So make an athletics check if you would. This is going to be for gripping on that ice too. So
It's a 22.
a 22. Okay.
Ooh,
You keep the rope in hand. You grab onto the ice, the slide, and get a foothold on one of the bottom steps just before like sliding off the bottom of it. Pull yourself up. You've got a little bit of room to walk like halfway up this bottom ice crack as you watch. The ship keeps moving, pulling the other end of the rope forward as this staircase is stationary in the air.
Okay. Um, are you saying I have time to do something else or just
It's describing, so if you tie yourself off on this rope, it's not going to take long for the ship to get so far ahead, it's going to yank you right off the staircase. But you've got, you know, probably, it's tough to tell. 2, maybe 3 rounds, maybe 2.
until it yanks me off?
If you were to tie it off around your waist, if you hold it in your hand, then you might be able to hold off a little longer. You get a better feel for when it's going to run out. The ship's pulling it away, and you're staying still.
She'll just hold on to it for right now.
Okay.
Um, I
Make your way up about half the stairwell with the leftover speed you have. Half this
yes.
first portion.
Okay. I am I walking or am I having to climb?
No, it's walkable. After I
Okay.
made it with
Okay.
this rough stairs. So, all right, you start heading
Okay.
up. I guess that brings us over to Zia. Do you want to continue up onto the upper deck?
Yeah, Zia's gonna do kind of a like, almost like the demented girl from The Ring.
Mm-hmm.
No.
oh,
She's definitely very slowly like ascending the stairs.
Nice.
Very much entranced by and heading towards the front of the ship.
Nice. Yeah, you slowly make your way up stairs and into the rain starts just, piling up on your face, your hair and clothing. Your attention's drawn upward where you see that face in the storm. Look around, you see a hand it's like it's trying to push and pulls back and then moves a bit and pushes with the other hand. The face pushing through the clouds, displacing them, but never breaking through. Um, the song seems to be emanating from the face in the sky. Make, I guess, a perception check. I think might be most fitting.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Oh, we got a 3.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in this moment because as you're panning about, of course you're going to notice the ice shelf that's like past the ship as the ship's moving forward. You catch Sadie, grab a rope, and leap off onto it. And further up, you see Ashamar hustling up towards that face. Is there anything else you'd like to do with? That's like 10 feet of movement, so you've got whatever else left of your movement if you want to do anything else.
I feel like the part of her brain that's like entranced is not recognizing any of that that's happening, but instead kind of like the subconscious part of her mind. Like, that I hate to be like comparing a bunch of scenes, but in like
great.
Pirates of the Caribbean 3, when he's like slowly descending the steps and the entirety of the ship is like
Yes.
floating, but he's like not like that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Where it's like she knows that that's going on, but like also is just like so entranced with this, it's not really registering in full.
Okay.
And so she's just gonna continue to head towards where the song is emanating, up until she gets to the rail of the ship.
All right, you would make it up to the rail, and we'll wrap that round there, kind of looking up at this face in the clouds up above, where it's even louder now and more beckoning than it was before. All right, Ashbar, we're gonna bring you back up to the top.
Alrighty.
We'll have one more cast, and so really we're just gonna need an Arcana check with this to have a successful stairway on the third roll here, because you're also keeping this, like using your Arcana to keep it in place instead of like letting gravity take it. So I'm going to put the DC, last time was 17, it was 15, 17, I'm going to put it at 19 to make this next staircase without it being fragile. And then we'll see what happens, if you get a little lower, we'll see what dangers might, or if it doesn't work at all. Again, with advantage, as you are like, how big the stakes are here. So I'm just giving you advantage because you're like, I'm stepping out and doing this. And there's certain death below if I don't, so.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
I was going to use my Patreon die, but I rolled a 19, so that's a total of 20.
This last one, you're like, I'm not falling through ice again. You cast this out, a nice solid rail of ice all the way up to where the clouds sometimes, it's pushing through and then pulling back, but when it pushes through, it reaches down towards the stairwell. So you might have to wait for it to push down and reach that stairwell, but you're that close. Movement wise, you just want to climb up to the top?
I want to climb up to the top, wait for the face to be in like either hopping or grabbing range. And we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump back that at the top of the next one just because the spell was sort of the action, but I love that. It's kind of up. It seems like it'll probably try and push through again next one. Okay. Sadie, you have witnessed this. You saw Ashavar kind of slip through that second staircase a bit that you're approaching now. You know that it's a little bit thinner and maybe dangerous. But if are you gonna try and climb up and get to that nice secure third section where Ashavar is?
First,
Mm-hmm.
Sadie is going to tie her 50 foot of rope to this rope to give them a little
Okay.
bit of extra room.
Okay. You see how quickly it's
Um,
unwinding.
yes. She's going to do that. As a, I guess maybe the free action, she's going to mental link everyone except Ashavar and just say, uh, um, hey, me and Ashavar are, I just wanted to let y'all know that me and Ashavar are on a floating staircase. It's made of ice that Ashavar created, and we're kind of floating behind the ship. Y'all are going away from us currently. I repeat, you are currently leaving me and Ashavar out on an icy cascade of steps out here in the sky. Over and out.
You hear like 5 crewmates respond at the same time. Like, what? Well, hold on, I'll take the ship around. You hear Kip, and you see the ship start, turning, but it's a ship. It's gonna take a bit to loop around and try and get
Sure,
underneath you.
sure, sure, sure.
With your movement?
Uh, movement, she's going to try to get closer to Ashabar.
I'd make that dexterity saving throw as you navigate the second thin ice stair rail.
As a barbarian, her dexterity saving throws are great. She has a whole +0 on them, and it's wonderful.
You know what? I'll give you advantage. A, again, the stakes, but more so because you watched Ashavar almost fall through, so you know to expect it.
I'm gonna use my own dice. I've been using the D&D Beyond dice all night, so we're gonna
Oh
go
my.
for it. Nice flat surface. Oh, oh. Well, that's a 10.
Oh,
Okay.
I rolled a 7 and a 10. I don't have any pluses, so that's what we got.
All right. I don't think we have any Patreon subs in the chat.
can I give Sadie my Patreon die?
If you'd like, absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's 2d8
okay.
because that wasn't going to cut it for sure.
Okay. 2d8.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
You saved a life today.
Let's just say what we got here. That's a +7. So that's a 17 total.
17. Okay. Yep. So you start to fall through, but thankfully you're nimble enough to pop up into another section and just keep it moving. You're focused. You're moving. You're able to reach the bottom of because you have that faster speed. You're able to reach a little bit past the bottom of that third safe stair rail, but you're still a little ways to go to catch up to Ashmore. One more round
Okay.
to get you caught up to Ashmore.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to do now that you're like at the bottom of the same staircase as Ashamar, or say, or anything like that? Or are you good for now?
Ashavar, please be careful.
I am always careful. By always, she means never.
Yeah.
Sadie will
Arms
like
outstretched to the thing in the.
Sadie will like growl to herself, like almost like in her from her beast form. It sounds like a wild animal growling.
Amazing. Okay.
She can't help herself.
No, this
She
was.
sees an opportunity to do something that looks rad, and she just does it.
I love it. This is epic. Uh, okay, that'll bring us back to Dia's turn. The ship is taking a turn now, sort of putting you even more square on with this face up above as you're sort of right at the rail there. What would you like to do?
Zia climbs up on top of the rail,
Mhm.
staring directly at the face.
Mm-hmm.
And where precisely is it is it emanating directly from like the mouth of the face, or just like
Just the
from
face in general
the
as a
face?
whole. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so she's gonna, take a good look at it, climbed up here, and then she's just gonna fall off.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
All right. Are you falling or flying?
As one does.
Uh, it takes an action
Mm-hmm.
to activate
Mm-hmm.
Radiant Soul. So, I mean, how long is a round, Dan?
It's 6 seconds.
Yeah, we could be in free fall for 6 seconds.
Okay.
It's not gonna
You
kill anybody.
you step off. Wind whistling in your ears as you descend for these 6 seconds. Um, it does not seem to cover up the sound of that choir uh, calling to you, that angelic voice, as though it's more of a mental permeation than an auditory one. Okay, going through the rain, which will bring us back up to Ashavar. You're getting prepared to try and like make contact, physical contact with this form. Oh, let's see what would happen. So is that pretty much what you're waiting for? As it sort of like pushes back down to the clouds?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If she notices Zia stepping off the railing and like falling, she's. I mean, it's a giant face,
Yeah.
but she's gonna do her best to like reel back and like smack it as hard as she can
Okay.
and be like, "You stop making my friends walk off of ships.
Nice.
You pay attention to me now, because I'm about to kill you."
Awesome. All right. So you like reel your
And
hand back and say that, and then give it this full smack as it gets into range. And there's a moment where your hand kind of passes through cloud, but then it passes through almost like an energy. Feels like when you get zap plugging something in. It
yeah,
has that sort of energy to your hand, but in that moment of contact with energy, please make. What do we want to do? You already have some form of telepathy. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, if you
ooh,
don't
I have
mind?
advantage on those.
Nice. Good.
But that was horrible for both rolls. So
No.
that's a 9.
Okay. You just get sort of an impression. A lot of and yeah, it's just too many different feelings across the spectrum. You get an impression of like a psychic impression of a lot of different intense feelings from positive to negative that kind of crash through as you make contact. Um, and
But
oh, mhm.
I have a lot of feelings too, and I connected with that thing when it like when my hand started feeling the energy.
Mhm.
What if I stepped fully into the thing?
I will give you a round to consider. You pull your hand back, and there was also a, a brightness like with that energy. And so your eyes are sort of you're not blinded or anything, but it's like you need a second to kind of wipe them free. But the creature's still whatever this is, the cloud is still in range. But I'll kind of leave that for the next round if you want to jump in that next round and just dive on it.
Okie dokie.
Um, I'm just trying to think if there's yeah, I think that was light enough, but there's no damage or anything from that. It felt like there could have been, but there wasn't. You kind of passed through quickly enough. So you would also be aware that there might be some damage coming in if you were to jump in, but still entirely fine. Just want to put that out there. Okay, right. So we'll jump over to Sadie. With the rest of your movement, you can catch up to Ashavar if you want at the top of this thing.
How far am I away from Ashvar currently?
I'm not doing feet because it's like an imaginary extension of distance that this spell's covering. But you have plenty of movement to reach Ashavar, and then a little bit left over.
Okay, I don't want to get like right behind her because I'm guessing these stairs are, how wide are they? Probably like just for enough for one person.
I was kind of picturing them being fairly wide, but I guess
Okay,
that's up to
okay.
Ashavar. They can
It'd
be.
probably be just like slamming. They're probably not
Crystals,
even
like
like
ice and stuff
real
together.
stairs. They're just like
Okay.
jagged protrusions of ice because she's in a hurry.
Yeah.
Okay. First, Sadie is going to kind of ready her sickle with her free hand.
Okay.
Because in the other hand she's still holding the rope.
Okay.
Just in case that she falls or something. She's just thinking that maybe she can like, you know. And she will get closer to Ashavar, try to, but she would definitely keep like a 10-foot distance, like, behind her. Like she doesn't want to like be like right there, to cramp her space if she's doing something specific.
Okay. You get about 10 feet behind her as you hear her say what she said. You watch this, you see this spark of like bright light as she smacks it, pulls her hand back.
And there's no response from the thing yet, right? That was
Not yet.
okay. Um, as soon as the smack happens, like Ashbar probably hear like an audible like, "Oh my!" Something like 10 feet behind her, and I was gonna say Stacy. Sadie would almost get into kind of like a stance of like, ready to bolt at any second to like, to get away from this face that was just smacked by
Okay.
Ashfar.
All right. And as you do that, where you also notice you probably have somewhere between 1 and 2 rounds left before this rope's gonna, if you're, gonna pull. Whether you hold on to it or let go will be up to you. But 1 round to 2, you're not sure. You're gonna find out.
Free action
Hmm?
to say something to
Yeah, go for it.
Ashbar. Mentally, just to Ashbar. We only got about a minute or two before the rope's out. Just let you know.
For 6 seconds or 6 or 12.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's equivalent to. Thank you.
No, no problem. Just make sure it translated.
Yeah. Only a few seconds. That wasn't with a southern accent or whatever.
A few seconds. Say
A few seconds away.
I'm still doing it. Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us over to Zia and free fall, falling further away from the beckoning sounds up above.
And so her radiant soul starts to activate, partially in her control and partially outside of it. And the incorporeal wings start to burst at her back.
Okay.
There's like some light leaking from the eye that was sealed.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening is because not all the light can escape. The wing on that side struggles to like form,
Mm-hmm.
getting to maybe like 30 or 40%.
Nice.
I think that would manifest probably in her only being able to slowly go up towards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she would start doing, is heading slowly up towards the face.
Right. You're fighting instead of like this extra fast speed. It's like regular speed as you fight to keep that balance with that not fully manifested wing up through the rain, up closer to this beckoning base entity pushing out. Okay, back to Ashabar. Yeah, what would you like to do, Ashabar?
So how big is this face? And am I standing in front of its mouth and like its mouth is as tall as I am?
It's like you hit the bottom of its chin. Like you're about maybe like this big to the face.
Okay.
Probably smack it somewhere here.
Ashabar is going to take out her broom and yell the command word.
Okay.
Fly as high as she can, which I'm going to estimate is like either its nose or like maybe in between its eyes or something like that.
About, yeah, around mid face here. Nose.
Okay.
Or,
And she's gonna look at it in the eyes and say, "Stop making my friend fall." And also, let's see who's got the bigger emotions. And she like basically drops all of her mental shields that keep her emotions behind walls and shit, and
Yeah.
she flies straight into the thing's nose.
Okay. All right, there's two separate things then that will sort of happen here. First, let's deal with the emotions. Go ahead and roll a D100. And I'm going to
Okay.
have one roll.
20. I rolled another 27.
Oh, nice.
The last time I rolled, you asked me to roll a D100. I rolled a 27. Now
That's
I rolled
insane.
another 27.
They rolled a 100.
Whoa.
Yeah.
My like tiny brain is going to get smooshed.
You do start to feel this balance, and in this moment, um, of attempting to release, there's just an extra rawness to whatever this creature is. However, the second thing that happens has an impact on this exchange. As you're sort of flying up through, you get that static, that electricity feeling, and this is where that exchange of emotion happens. So there is like some form of connection as you're exchanging that. However, you take a little bit of lightning damage, that's okay. 8 points of lightning damage. That was really low rolls.
Okay.
But you feel this lightning sort of energy. It's more energy than lightning. Feels like a barrier. You're not actually getting to connect. You can feel there's some barrier between you and whatever this creature is you were trying to connect with your emotions. There was some connection that took place, but this is like some form of barrier. And you get kind of sent back away, just outside of the cloud portion of it as it's still trying. You can kind of see now, it's like it's trying to push through the clouds and can't. Like there's a barrier there in face and hands. Hands very much like
Electric barrier.
it's more of an energy than lightning.
Okay.
But some form of energy, and the hands are just the same like size and shape that like reached up like this when you were leaving Atmos that one time. Like with the last purple lightning. Seems to be the same entity. Now probably wrapped around there, and we'll come back and switch up to you. But you would identify that as a barrier of sorts. Yeah, okay. Stady, you watch, Ashvar hops on a broom and flies, and only maybe like, no, I guess they're flying pretty far away, up towards more of like the nose area. Um, you're at the top of this ice stairwell, rope in hand. What would you like? What would you like to do?
Just to like go inside, like she goes inside the face, right? Through the
You,
nose.
you saw her try to, and then get pushed back out.
Okay.
You see some damage, just some crispiness as she comes out.
Are we at the end of the rope?
Not yet, but it's not quite the end of the turn. It looks like it might yank you near the end of this turn, or possibly the next one. Still a little tricky to tell.
Um, yeah, Sadie's going to tie the rope around her waist. And seeing as she doesn't have anything to really catch herself, or, she doesn't have any flying capabilities, so she'll go ahead and tie the rope around her waist.
Okay.
And we'll just stay there for as long as she can. Still has her sickle in hand, just in case.
Okay.
Will a mental message as a free action, not to. She'll just do everyone. Ashvar, once this rope's up, I'm going to be hopefully falling back to the ship. The rest of y'all, Ashvar's currently attacking the face. I might be swinging in the ship from a rope here in a moment. And that's it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, your risk and patience in waiting to see if the rope would run out at the end of the turn pays off. In that you can tell at the end of your turn that it's not going to yank you until next turn. And in fact, because the ship has about reached its turning point and will the next round likely be coming back towards you, it start
Okay.
giving you a little slack to be up here without having to worry about that.
Okay. All right. She just braces herself where she's at and tries to keep an eye on Ashvar.
Let's look over to Zia.
Zia just is continuing up towards the face.
All right, let's see. If you're doing basically regular speed, it'd probably be 2 more turns before you'd be able to reach base. Okay, I'm
Wonderful.
Still, nice. Still in that just kind of drawn to it state.
I feel like the closer she's getting, the stronger the trance and hold on her mind is getting.
Yeah. In fact, the closer you get, and the more that pulls on you, the more it's like you're getting closer and closer to remembering that word you just can't think of. There's just like, why is this? There's some sense of familiarity. There's something about it. Getting closer. Okay, back to Ashavar. What would you like to do this round?
Okay, so she didn't have any luck breaking the shield just flying into the face. So she might need some oomph to to go in front of her. Is there a place where the like purple energy is coalescing?
Make a quick perception check if you would.
14.
So as you start thinking that and paying, closer like perception, attention to all that, you see that a lot of this lightning seems to extend when the hand presses, when the face pushes against the cloud. That seems to be a force in initiating this lightning. So not in one
Okay.
particular place, but from the force of this, whatever this entity is, attempting to push through. Less the clouds and more likely that energy barrier.
So she's gonna wait until the entity starts pushing through again, which seems to her to mean the energy barrier is weaker. And then she's gonna fly in, but cast a lightning bolt from her failed experiment wand.
Nice.
Oh dear. Um, which is 29 lightning damage
Okay.
Nice.
if you don't make a dex save.
Mm-hmm.
As like she's shooting the lightning bolt as she's trying to fly back in past the energy barrier.
Okay. This is so it pushes through for 2 rounds and recedes for one. So this is one of the receding ones. Do you want to try
Oh.
it while it's receding? Or you want to wait until next round when it's pushing?
No, I'm gonna wait. Oh, I'm gonna wait till next round.
Okay,
It's
so you,
pushing.
you take the round to kind of get the failed experiment wand out and do the perception and look and be prepared for when it
Yeah.
pushes through again. All right, Sadie, how about you? Just keeping an eye from here and
He is keeping an eye. Yes.
okay, and Zia just continuing to fly upward.
Yeah,
Okay,
same old, same old.
nice. All right, so that leaves one more round before you'll reach though. And we'll bring it back to Ashavar. Again, the face tries to push through. You unleash a lightning bolt. Let me do a check. This to honor what you're doing here. It'd be pretty difficult, but I want to do a check. As you crack this 5 foot wide bolt of lightning energy, just as the face is pressing against this energy field, this barrier. It does have some effect in that lightning just purple lightning almost in waves of energy instead of like dancing bolts cascades out and over again in a few different sessions. It seems to die down a bit. It put on a big display, but you're unsure if it did anything. Or you're trying to fly in on the heels of that to see if it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fly back in. You once again you hit that energy field, and it. Good.
This time she's gonna use her Kalashtar telepathy to try to grab onto the mind behind the field.
Okay. Let's see. All right, let's roll the D100s again. I think is the best way to sell it because it's not a
Swear
super
if I
high
roll
chance,
another
but
27. That is a 3.
oh no! Yeah, unfortunately they're on 86 on the other end of the spectrum. Take a little bit of lightning damage, but it's only 7 points. You were-
I'm still fine.
Dice this time because of what you did with the lightning thing. whatever this barrier is, I think at this point you can feel like it, if it's keeping this entity from pushing through, it probably has some pretty serious juice to it. But you've entangled emotions, and even with this one, you can't connect with the mind, but you have sort of a light sense of its presence, you know, as you try and connect this time. Yeah. Anything else for Ashavar this round? Next round, it'll still be pushing through.
She's gonna back up a little bit, but just to reconnoiter. She's not gonna go like full retreat.
Okay. Kind of loop back, assess things, and prepare. Sadie, you see Ash with this amazing display of lightning and magic. And then you see, Ashmar kind of do a circle back just to assess things. Anything for you this round, Sadie?
Just holding tight.
Okay. Great. That brings us over to Zia. I'm assuming you're still flying. Are you just like, I'm flying right into this thing, or do you pump the brakes, or try and touch or anything? Or...
Wherever, because okay. So from a spatial viewpoint, is it emanating from the face or from behind the face?
It's tough. It's sort of like the way telepathy feels, where it's
Okay.
you can't really find a focal point, but it's just from that general presence. So more of like the surface of the face than like within necessarily. It's like that presence is what's contacting. If that makes sense. I know that doesn't really clarify. Sorry.
No, I totally get it. Sia would go up to the forehead, probably, of the head shape.
Okay.
And then reach out both of her hands into it.
Okay.
Just at the surface.
Nice. All right. Can you please? Let's roll a D100. That's okay.
Woo! Hold on, finding an app. Okay. 58.
All right. Well, I'll take a picture of mine because they rolled a 55.
Nice.
But that's awfully close.
Yeah.
Okay. Thing, yeah. Okay. Wow. All right.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you get a little bit. You get a little bite from this energy field. You feel a little bit of a zap from the energy. You feel something in between you and whatever this entity is. Those are higher rolls. It's 16 points of. We'll just say lightning damage. It's the closest thing.
Fantastic.
You're welcome to, if you want that to impact, it gives you a jolt. So if you want it to impact like your cognizance here in this moment, versus being like enthralled, you're welcome to. But if you don't want to roleplay it that way, that's fine too. It's up to you. Let me know which way you're doing.
I feel like there's definitely like that part of her brain that is like really like in pain from that, but it's not the dominating force at this moment.
Okay.
And so it's probably almost like weird to others who are looking on because it's like clear that she's been shocked and that like that is like causing the body to like move.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the brain is ignoring what the body is telling it, kind of.
Nice. So you get a very clear sense of feelings as they shift. A bit of a maelstrom of feelings that quickly shift to a desperation, shift to an incredible longing, shift to feelings of thoughts reflecting on this pursuit for an immense amount of time. This pursuit, feelings of frustration at being held at bay by this energy, this barrier. You can almost perceive from this entity's point of view the moment just half an hour ago where it found your ship and tried to come through. And then thoughts flash to Atmos Isles, where it found you and tried to push through. And then you start getting flashes of many, many times before that in your travels, sleeping in the wilderness, asleep, not noticing the purple lightning, but sleeping in a storm, and finding you and pushing. And then for the briefest moment, so for everyone, you're really seeing the hands push even further, as hard as it can, unable to break through whatever this barrier is, but trying intensely in this moment. The moment when it all began on a small island, watching you and your sisters as they were sent out of this world, now unable to push back through and connect. The last moment your father saw you all.
Um, as the like tears start to like break down her face, the same as they were before, like the tears of like light that almost evaporate once they reach the bottom of her face.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been searching for so long and not knowing. I mean, it turns from like a happiness to almost like anger very quickly of like what this field is, and realizing probably who put it in place in the first place. But it's still like difficult to tell her conscious from unconscious, I guess, in this state. But as her conscious is starting to like come back in, the kind of automatic control of her flight is wavering a bit. And she's having kind of a hard time of staying steady in the air.
Okay.
If Ashavar notices that, she'd fly down, and I think she can take a passenger on her broom.
Let me jump in and say that as you start to, you fall back, you're wobbling a bit and catching yourself. That disconnects that connection. One of the hands that's been pushing off to the side slides over to you, Ashavar, and like right over you. It can't push far enough to touch you, but it seems like it's moved its hand over towards you. Do you try and touch it, or just leave it be?
I try and touch it.
Okay. You touch it, you get the tiniest of zaps because of the barrier. 2 points of lightning damage. The rain begins to pour so heavily, matching the tears down Dia's face. And Ashmar, you push in, and as you pull out, you have feel something in your hand, in the palm of your hand. Gonna take a look, or just kind of like, I'll figure that out later.
Throw it away.
She would look down and make sure that Z is not about to fall out of the sky, but then she'd take a look.
Okay. I should add, as you get that bite, a little bit of those emotions push through, and there's a thankfulness for your efforts in trying to break this barrier, and in trying to connect. Get that feeling of they've been doing this entirely on their own for a very long time without success. And in your hand is a crystal in the shape of a teardrop. Beautiful clarity. And that's in the palm of your hand. Yeah. And then you kind of look around. See, how you doing with the flight? Just sort of like still trying to catch yourself, like rebalance.
Yeah, I would say at this stage she's like relatively close to part of the ice bridge.
Hmm.
And probably next turn would make an attempt to grab it.
All of this extra force pushing through and trying to connect has a reaction, of course, an opposite reaction, and you see this as forms of thrust out of the clouds, no longer pushing through. Lightning, there's a little bit of purple in the lightning still, but it quickly begins to shift back to regular lightning. Whatever will or energy the entity or your father had in trying to connect has been exhausted. So you find yourself over the ice stairs. Ashmar not too far off on a broom. The ship circling back underneath. You call the express! Kip is yelling out the ship.
We should probably get down. I don't know how long these steps are gonna last.
Bottom one's already crumbling.
Yeah. However, I mean, is it just a jump down to the ship, Dan?
You would probably get a ride. You might survive the fall, but it would hurt.
You want to
Okay.
take the broom express?
Sure. Yeah. My accent's gone. That sounds fun. Yeah.
Faith and Megora, thank you, Ashmar.
That sounds like a plan.
Hey, you hop on the broom with Ashabar. Z, are you flying back down to the ship? Now let us come around.
She's managed to steady herself back on the ice bridge, and we'll head down it, and then try to fly once she gets to the end of it down.
Okay.
Probably not well. May take a couple damage on getting back, but none the worse for wear.
It's a rough landing on the deck of the ship for sure.
Yeah.
So the three of you find yourselves back on the ship, and Vic's yelling, "All right, get us back underway!" Full quarter back into the storm, and kind of hustling over, to check on Uzia, but it's gonna take him a little bit to get over there. He's finished up. Leaving the three of you on the deck of the ship in the pouring rain of this storm, having had, this experience, getting sort of some answers. Yeah, the ship now underway. Yeah.
Sadie's just going to just sit down and just lean against, just kind of like, I don't know, wringing out needlessly her clothes. And there's this air of just kind of like, what was any of that?
Nice. Welcome to the crew. um, Shavar, how about you in this moment?
She'd probably hold out the ice crystal
Mm,
to Zia to see if
mm.
Zia would recognize it.
Looks like a
But
really
then,
clear crystal.
but
Sorry.
then she'd get sort of contemplative and be like, you know what? Rain is just like really soft ice. I like rain.
Nice.
And then she just like sit there, letting the rain fall on her for no reason.
It's amazing. Beautiful. And Zia?
Um, yeah, she'd probably still be like crying a bit. I'm sure if Vic came up and like hugged her,
Yeah,
it would,
for sure.
that would probably be kind of how that would life would
Um,
go for 15-20 minutes or so at least.
yeah, he doesn't ask any questions. He just he's just there. He's just
I,
there.
Vic is such a good guy.
I love Vic.
Vic is
I
great.
appreciate that.
Nice. All right, and the ship cuts through the rest of this thunderstorm, headed towards the next city, the city of Mail. Well, if you see what that looks like, ruins or something else, who knows? We'll find out next week, because I think that's where we'll wrap up tonight's session.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you, everybody. It was so fun to play
Thank
again.
you,
Get back
Dan.
in
You,
it.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Nice, nice. Yay! Yeah, thank you, viewers, for watching. It's always nice to have you hanging out with us. You've been watching an Extremis, our Saturday night campaign, Sky Pirate campaign. So catch us next Saturday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll find out, I don't know, maybe we'll get some more answers on that, but if not, we'll maybe get some answers on the city. Oh, Daniel Vance, thank you so much for the sub. Yay!
Thank you.
Love it, love it. Okay, I hope you all have a lovely night, and we'll catch you later. Bye!